More than 2.7 million of us have joined KiwiSaver since it began in 2007. There are more than $40 billion of funds invested, but there is still a large amount of confusion and misunderstanding about the scheme. So we're here to bust a few myths today, and I've got our KiwiSaver guru, David Boyle, with us. But first, as with all our invested videos, we're going to talk about what's behind us. David, you chose the picture. Tell us about it.
If anyone knows me, I have got a real passion, not just around financial capability, but also music. So I took this, it wasn't a selfie actually, it was a picture I took at Guns N' Roses of 51,000 people that attended the concert. I was very fortunate to be up the front and moshing it with the old folk that could afford to go up the front. So it was wonderful. And awesome. A great thing to be involved with.
Very cool, very cool. Anyway, on to KiwiSaver myths. Our first one, I've got a list here that people have either sent in or we've heard when we've been travelling around the country. So first up, quite a common one. I didn't join because if the provider goes bankrupt, I'll lose all my money. Correct?
Absolutely. It's not correct, but it is a question we do get a lot. And it's, let's bust it right now, really, on the basis that the money that you have is in your name and it's invested in a wide range of assets, not in the provider that is offering the scheme. So in the event that the provider might not be around or falls over, your investments are actually not in the company but in the fund that invests in a wide range of assets. So.
Right. Some people think that the money goes back to the government if you die.
There has been certainly misconceptions that if I die before I can get my money, it's going to go back to the government. Now, again, that's not true. Basically what happens, it's in your name. Not good for you because you've died, but that money then will go through your estate. And it's kind of one of my little hobby horses, you like, that I keep going on about. The importance of having a will is fundamental when it comes to not just KiwiSaver, but it's a good trigger. And we know that a lot of New Zealanders still don't have a will, so you need one of those to ensure that the funds that you have in KiwiSaver go to the right family and whānau.
Next up, the government doesn't provide any benefits.
So the government does, but there have been a lot of changes. The one big issue that we keep hearing as we go around the country talking about KiwiSaver, and more importantly, the feedback we get from New Zealanders asking us questions in the Commission, is the member tax credit. And it's not named particularly well, but essentially...
It's a dreadful name.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It doesn't really reflect kind of the benefit. So simply put, whether you're working or not, if you're aged 18 years or over, you're entitled to receive, as a contribution from the government, 50 cents on every dollar that you put in, up to 1,042. That will continue and is there, and means that if you can't afford 1,042, if you can only afford to do $10 a week, that means the government will put in $5. So, you don't have to be working, but you do need to be 18 years of age or over.
Number 4 on my list, employers don't have to match my contribution.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of confusion, particularly for employers around what their obligations are and how it works. In most circumstances, the employer is required to match the employee contribution of 3%. So the minimum contribution rate for employee is 3%, and employer needs to match that by 3%. That is, unless in good faith, the employer and employee have negotiated in their total employment package. But if that isn't the case, then your employer is breaking the law if they're not providing that contribution.
Right. All the funds are the same.
All the funds are the same. There are a number of choices that every provider will offer their members. So if you get defaulted into KiwiSaver, you will fall into what is a conservative fund option. And simply put, that means 80% of your money will be in cash and fixed interest, and probably around 20% will be in things called growth assets like shares and property. But they have a range, and it's really, really important. Outside the fact, once you start contributing, the next most important facet is ensuring that you're in the right fund that's right for you, for your own personal circumstance. So it's really, really, really important to choose and learn a little bit more what is the right fund. And the first place to start is talking to your provider You can also go on to our KiwiSaver Fund Finder, and that'll give you more information
on Sorted. Handy tool there on Sorted.
Exactly.
Wonderful, thank you. So we'll come back with more myths and more common questions in another video.